We were gone for 1 week, but 3 months have passed, and now we've got a lot of time to make up for. We're Roll for Adventure, and welcome to episode 39. It's been a long journey so far, and let's get into it.
Having made your way back from the Feywild, popping out somewhere here near Argentum on the mountainside, looking down, being able to see Bloomgrove, being able to see the rooftops of the city in the distance, a few days' travel outside of town. Made your way down the hill in the direction of the third Druid village that you just recently saw for the first time, Ridgewater. You met with one of the elders there, a centaur who was looking over the remaining few that hadn't yet evacuated to Woodend. And after concerning conversation, you came to the realization that in your week or two's worth of travel through the Feywild, you had somehow accrued 3 months, almost, of time that had passed here on the material plane. Realizing that you were now 3 weeks out from the middle of summer, from the solstice. Potentially, you're starting to theorize from some events unfolding. You hurried your way to the city on Mountain Goat back, hopping across the various stone edges of this cliff face, passing under the ancient Black Dragon's remains on the hillside, eventually finding yourselves nearing the city. Strider quickly veering off path to check on his home, noticing that part of the front of the building had been charred and burned, and a letter left behind with half a mask resting on it. Continuing further, you made your way to the House of Gold, where you found Daria in a semi-conscious state. After giving her the last of the peppermints that you had got from Granny Ada, she seemed to recover a little bit, though the full mend will take some time. And looking around the rest of the house, you could see that Victoria and Chiron are back, the clerics that you'd met at the festival, tending to dozens of wounded in here, complaining of nightmares and headaches and visions. Continuing further through, Vorg and Lily making your way up to Sebastian's study in the Lowstone, his little office away from home, where he looked disheveled, unrested, unshaved. This version of him that probably no one has ever seen, running the papers during a time of potential riots and civilian unrest, all while also being concerned over Strider's location. Eventually you gained a little bit of information from him and gave him some information. And he asked, or sent you on the path towards Legion headquarters, where Carmine was supposedly waiting to also chat with the lot of you, now that you had made your way home after some time out in the Feywild. That's where we'll pick up, at roughly midnight here in the city of Argentum, as you are leaving Sebastian's studio and wandering through the city streets.
As I'm about to leave Sebastian's, just want to turn as I'm saying goodbye. I am sorry again for taking so long. And I know you've seen... Tired might be the wrong word. You look great, but you do seem tired. And I'm going to hand him a bit of red cloth that I found from the break-in. If you can possibly maybe find where that came from magic means,
I'll see what I can do.
there's a chance it's hers. It's not within my realm of expertise, so while we're off trying to stop the war from coming into the city, maybe do that for me.
Of course. I'll fold it up and tuck it away.
Ready to go see Carmine?
Sorry, what was the time again?
About midnight.
Are we doing this now?
Yeah, Sebastian said she'd probably be awake like him.
True. All right.
Too much going on to sleep.
I lead the way to Carmine, or the headquarters.
Yeah. Are you taking the closer route that leads pretty much directly up, or are you going to take the long way around, kind of the gear and the other guild halls?
I want to go the long way around because I want to take note of the state the gear is in.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll also watch out for anyone potentially following us or watching.
Give me a perception check.
Gotta be extra vigilant on that one.
Don't be sloppy, I was told. 18. No, sorry, 23.
23. All right. There doesn't appear to be anyone following you at the moment. So you move through the city. Your arrival back here not really announced yet. You make your way over to that staircase and continue up through the city. Eventually, as you get up into the High Stone, this kind of guild hall area of the city, the giant building of marble and metal that is the gear headquarters, usually always has some form of candlelight burning in the windows, is pretty much dark in the midnight air. Walking past, you can see a few of the windows have been shattered, like someone has thrown rocks through it. The front door is still in pieces, same as it was when you were fighting here, helping Carmine. Walking a bit further, you can see where it looks like a few automaton wardens had been repositioned at the front of the building and have just been scrapped and thrown into heaps in front of the building. Big tags of paint have been put up them. People unhappy with having them back up and running in the city.
You know, I understand that the people of this city don't understand that there's potentially a war about to embark. But it's sad to see great uses for these go to waste just because the people are afraid.
Human nature, I don't really know how else anyone is supposed to react to it. It's a real shame, but on the other hand, I understand the reaction. Imagine being told that they're there to protect you, and then in the blink of an eye, it just sets it flame.
I know that better than most. I'm a part of the reason that the automatons even exist. To replace or to put people at ease for what my family was, well, mentioned what they did. So in a way I feel, I guess, awful because I hated these machines because it felt like they replaced my family, but in a way they just ended up with the same fate.
I just don't think the city will ever be able to fully recover from something like this. I don't think the wardens will ever be as widely used as they were.
I think if the warden's are able to stop whatever's coming, then maybe they can earn themselves a little bit of respect again.
That is if people want them to
Exactly.
run around. It's a dicey one, and I'm sure Carmine has plenty of answers for us regarding that.
Yeah, or plenty of questions.
And that.
But we should get to her soon so that we don't keep her thinking that we're dead for any longer, because that can hurt quite a lot of people.
Alright.
Onward.
Continuing across here, you can see a few guild halls that are a little emptier than maybe they once were. People that are taking some time off after the kerfuffle in the city in recent months. But eventually you push in the direction of Legion headquarters. And even in the midnight hours here, there are candlelight in windows. You can hear the sounds of individuals in some of the courtyards training within the facility. As you do eventually make your way in there, there is an individual sitting at sort of the front desk there. Evening.
Evening.
Mhm.
I am Yorna Wallström of the Iron Legion, and I need to speak with Carmine urgently.
Of course. He looks at a few things beneath the desk. She said you can proceed right to her chambers as soon as you arrived.
Perfect. And I'll head up and I'll get these guys into.
Could I insight check this boy?
Yeah, give me an insight check.
He just seemed, I don't know, his response seemed odd. Insight. That will be 21.
21. This seems like possibly another new hire who's only heard of Yorna by name.
Yes, so he probably doesn't know that Yorna's been gone.
Alright. You continue up one of the staircases and looking through some of the windows to the internal areas of this. Essentially, on the western side of the city, there is the guards' sleeping chambers and things, and here on the right is the Legion itself. Each kind of this square structure. And looking through some of the windows as you're walking down the halls, you can see down to a courtyard in the center of this square, where there's a good dozen or so soldiers training, most of which look like they're competent with a sword, but definitely not at the level of legionnaires that you've seen in the past. And pushing forward down this hall, passing a few chambers, eventually you come to the familiar office of Carmine.
How similar is this to my nightmare that I had? See how accurate it is.
Eerily similar.
I'm gonna give it a good old
Who is it?
Yorna.
Come in.
I open the door.
Open the door. Not as disheveled as Sebastian, but definitely a few hairs that have fallen out of the ponytail and armor that isn't quite fully fastened necessarily. You're back.
We made it, though very, very late. We were meant to come back way sooner, and there was just no way to know.
Of course.
We were only gone for a week for us.
It's been a much longer time here, and a lot has happened.
You can tell just by walking around the city.
It's good to see that you are all right, with a few visual changes.
Yeah, a lot of not great things happen in the Pharaoh.
I am glad to see that you're alright, but the Legion has definitely been better.
All right is a optimistic term.
Alive.
Yes. It has been a rough few weeks here in the city. There are some things that we need to discuss. I've seen that symbol somewhere before.
Perhaps I step forward a little bit and past, and I kind of do like a semi-nervous bow. Be like, my real identity, and please don't attempt to strike me instantly, is Vorg Bellwood.
Bellwood. As in family Bellwood.
Yes.
not to come across harsh, I thought you were dead.
I was 9 when it happened, so I was told to run, and I've been hiding.
I apologize.
Sorry.
That is an event that the city would not soon forget. I had barely taken office when it happened. There was very little the Legion could do besides be a cleanup crew at the time.
I won't put blame on anyone at the Legionnaire. We used to work side by side, so my father says, but whatever the rumors that have been spread, of course, I find it hard pressed to believe that they're true. So I stand to try to prove that wrong.
I know that there are more urgent things, but for what it's worth, the Legion has always had doubts of the public story. Have you spoken to Kelvar of your identity?
No, me and Calvar might have gotten off on the wrong foot because of my eyes at some point.
When he arrived in the city, goodness, how long ago was that now? 7 or so years? He had a, not fixation, but he wanted to know more of your family's events. He is the reason that we still have some sort of an underground ongoing investigation. He, as you say, believes that the stories that the public knows are not necessarily truth.
What if, I may ask, and if you even know the information, it's probably obvious, but what deity does he follow?
The Platinum Dragon, Bahamut.
Do I pull out the mask. Does this look familiar to you in any way?
It does not.
Do you know if it's Platinum Dragon or Silver?
And this definitely looks as ceremonially Platinum Dragon as anything else I've seen.
I guess I've always taken it as a Silver Dragon's mask, but I never really thought it could be Platinum. They were there when my family was... What happened. There was a bunch of them. They were wreaking havoc as well at the same time.
And you need to speak to Kelvar when you have the opportunity.
I was hoping to go there and speak to Chiron, in fact, as well, just because I remember mentioning demonic things, and he got quite angry, and I think that could be well used.
Yes. Chiron is a man of strong faith.
Well, thanks for that information, and it's great to be able to share my identity without being, I guess, cursed upon.
Many in the city would not necessarily have the same reaction, but having been doing our digging over the last decade, when things arise, it doesn't seem fit to blame without actually knowing what happened.
So it just felt like it was now, more than ever, I think the city might need a Velwood.
I like that. And I'm afraid you might be right. Follow me while we talk. She'll lead you out of her chambers and start moving through the building. Is there any other conversation you're wanting to have with her as you're walking through?
If it's not gonna be talked about later, what do you know of our enemy, like what we've been facing?
That's where we're heading now.
I see. Because we have quite a lot of info as well.
Goodness, what is there to update you on? The wardens, as I'm sure you've likely seen, we tried to reactivate them 3 weeks after you left, probably. There was about a week and a half worth of riots through the city. All of the machines that we had back up and running were promptly beaten to hell by the public, defaced, left ruined in the streets. We cleaned up what we could, but we're a bit defenseless at the moment, and there's some powers moving in that are trying to make the most of that.
I heard that crime rate has risen.
In sense, people are scared and frightened, so it's only a natural public response. We're trying to get more boots on the street, swords in hands, but there's only so many people of skill in this city. And what's worse is those... You were here when the mages helped. Yes. They've been moving in. Their head has been trying to strongly offer military assistance for some portion of control during our time here. In need. Trying to boost our numbers to not seem like we need it, but I just don't know what transitioning from one military force from Chasseneur to another will do for the public perception.
If I may ask, there seems to be some sort of not friendly bond between the Legion and Chasseneur.
It's not unfriendly, so to speak. It's just... I can't help but not like the timing. It's very aggressively trying to force their way into city walls in a way that doesn't seem like pure charity.
I've heard accounts of people from Chasseneur even working with daggers for hires in the past as well. So they might not be
Curious.
very trustworthy.
What we're trying to avoid at the moment is this collection of mages swooping in and taking the seat on the house that used to belong to the gear. Having such a shift in power so rapidly, we're concerned.
I've got a question. When the Bellwoods fell, did they used to have the seat before the gear with the automatons?
They were advisors to the house. They did not hold a seat themselves.
So they're advisors to that house? To the gear?
To the House of Gold.
Okay.
So they would be there for all the meetings. They just didn't have a seat on the council.
I see. Speaking of the gear, so that has been completely dismantled, or?
I mean, no, we're just trying to keep everyone out of harm's way until the public settles down. Natasha's working from upstairs here. The rest have been sent to temporary housing. Natasha's still trying to get a handle on the situation as best she can.
What is Elowin's condition?
She just kind of gestures you to continue walking forward until you find your way back into that cell block, that holding room that you had previously seen Elowin in. Last time you were here, there were a few petty criminals that were also being held, but it is dead silent. Eerily so when you step in here. There's a muskiness to the air, the smell of decay just kind of lingering as you enter this corridor. As you walk down, slowly you begin to see signs of one of the cell blocks at the far end, something kind of protruding out from the doorway.
I'll look at Carmine and see if she readies anything, or if she obviously knows it's safe.
She has this look of, I've been down here a few times now. She kind of pushes ahead of the group and walks you down to the end of this corridor, that cell where they'd clearly been keeping Elowin. I presume this is likely what you have also been dealing with.
We'll see.
She kind of gestures you to take a look, and you can see that this stone room is lined with what looks like fungal growths all up the walls, creeping onto the ceiling. Plates like they are growing off of trees, this fungal plate growing out from the wall. The bed in that cell, you can see half of a humanoid remain. The rest is kind of caved in and become one with these growths that are pushing through the building.
Is my necklace vibrating? Bonded?
Ever so faintly, but not enough that there's actually a creature that's giving it off. But the faint sense of undead.
And does this look anything like what Rubberfield eventually turned into?
This is mottled greens and oranges, but Elowen clearly didn't survive whatever happened here. We held her for as long as we could, but you all, by the time you had been gone for 6 weeks, she had become something else. Wasn't of her own mind. She takes a key out and unlocks the door to the cell and opens it. What do you make of this? She gestures for one of you to enter the room.
I'm gonna walk in.
You walk in, and the fungus had crept over the iron bars in front of the cell so much that you couldn't see the right-hand wall until you walk in. You can see in a mixture where it looks like the first couple of words have been etched in the stone itself, and then desperation has taken over and blood has been used to quickly finish the rest, just etched into the wall. The words, "The Lady of Decay sees all."
Oh,
Lady of Decay, huh?
We ran into something similar in the Fey realm when we were, sadly, one of the elders from Bloomgrove, who has been under the control, followed us. And we found out when they are like they are for too long, they will die and fully be controlled by this being.
and this being, this power is ancient.
It's not a hag, it's the hag's being controlled by something else.
That's concerning.
I've heard, I don't know, I've definitely read about something similar in the past when I was a child, but so long ago I can't really piece it together what it is. But this thing is a hive mind, per se. It can speak through all of them and to try to get us to join it, but
That would explain the ramblings. The last few days, she went mad. Speaking of voices and being connected to something, it drove her to the edge of insanity before. It clearly overwhelmed her.
I know there might be things we need to discuss in plans, but while we were away, our decision was that we need to figure out what this hive mind is first.
Of course.
And my family's estate might have some books that might have survived that could have said information.
Actually, to get there, how far is it? Would you be able to spare horses?
Of course.
It's not far. It's what, like half a day?
No, 2 hours on
Maybe 2
horseback.
hours?
2 hours
Yeah.
on horseback. On horseback.
I'd like to take maybe a cart as well, just if we find a lot of books, maybe that might be
Bring
good to
them
keep.
back with
Yeah.
us.
Of course. I can issue some men to go with you if you prefer, but this feels like a personal.
Yeah.
Would it be possible to also provide funds? I don't know if you're able to, seeing as the situation with the city.
I can see what I can scrounge together. Will be good to have you fighting at full strength.
We do have some more information on the hag and her whereabouts, and there is a whole thing, and you might know a little bit about it. I recently, well, recent to me, looked at, I guess, the schematics of the city in its earliest form, and there was a large arena, but that's obviously gone now, and what?
I saw a vision. We made a deal with the hag in the Fey realm, not the night hag, that she would give us a vision of where this coven or where the night hag might be. And it was in some sort of underground arena, stones everywhere, upside down city, and a crystal, like a see-through crystal with some silver liquid in it.
I don't know about all that. The arena, from the historical records we have of the city, was dismantled when Argentum passed and the dragon fell.
We think it's somehow connected, and maybe even potentially wherever the hag is deep beneath the city or nearby.
Yes, makes sense for her to be nearby everything. And you want to mention there being cases of people getting sick.
And that is the other thing. We've been on high alert for whomever of suspect, but there's been sightings and reports that are too consistent to not acknowledge fitting Garvier's description within the city.
Garvier's in the city.
He has been spotted on a few occasions in your absence. It is hard to tell. Allegedly spotted.
Allegedly.
Garvier, I believe, is definitely under the influence of this being.
I don't know how far gone he is, though.
We were gone for 3 months, though.
He might be toast.
Yeah. We also need to be aware, if we find the location of this night hag, all of Bloomgrove, all of its residents are no longer there. No bodies to be found. So wherever this location, the coven is, could be an army of, and they may not be that strong, but still numbers are numbers.
Especially if there's any chance for any of them to come back.
So if we find this fight, I don't think it's something we're going to be able to just walk in with 3 men, and we'll get kept busy just by sheer number before we can even get to the hag. And not to freak you out more, but I think we're on a bit of a time mission. The hag, or the being, we'll call it for now, they're preparing for some sort of battle on something called the Day of Blood. And we've theorized that it might be on the solstice.
That is a deadline.
But we should try fight the hag or get rid of her before then. Because if they're fighting something already then, that time is going to happen no matter what. We need to weaken them so we can at least still prepare for the next battle. We can't have 2 battles back to back with no preparing.
Of course.
So we're going to need men. We're going to need, and I know the city's opinion, but if it's anything possible to make them without being caught, as many automatons as possible.
I can speak to Natasha, see what can be done.
And another matter, you know the Furegg family.
Yeah.
Is there any way for them to aid us?
Oh, they have been recluse for, well, I suppose 10 years now. We very little have anything to do with them. Even the protector's blades that we issue to legionnaires on occasion are no longer created by them. It is very rare occasion that they'll do much of anything for anyone these days. Being shunned for the weapons they created.
That's why I try to talk to them, because I feel responsible for, in a way, that whatever happened, both of our houses fell, and you know, they feel responsible for it in a way.
Dwarves know how to hold a grudge.
But if anyone knows how to make weapons to fight demons, well, it's them.
It would be them.
And I'm sure that I probably would have been told this at some point in my life if I was with my family, but they'd probably say you don't want to take on a demon without one.
There has to be a way we can convince them.
Maybe if we could convince them that what happened was not true, get the full story.
Maybe some of the records at your house might help.
It is worth a shot. Will not fix their reputation, though.
No. They care. The reason they're upset is though because they care about helping people, and they are sad that they did that. They might have not. But if we can find out what this being is, this powerful being from a different plane, maybe they'll see reason because they still want to help people.
I think if you give them a good enough reason, a cause, to, I guess, maybe help clear their name. Because the whole thing was that they made weapons for the Bellwoods, and when the Bellwoods fell, it reflected poorly. If there is a chance that they can be redeemed, maybe they may be interested.
We won't know till we know more information on this creature. We need to really sell it.
It does also sound like our first stop has to be your place, as we might find something to help your family's story.
We also might find records of the arena, potentially. They were around since then. So there's a chance. I'm sure that one of my family members down the line would have been wanting to spar and fight in an arena, probably, and prove themselves.
Well, apart from money, men, and persuasion, which we seem to be severely lacking at the moment, is there anything else I can do for you?
Any health potions?
I might have a few upstairs. Things seem to have settled down enough here that we can probably start giving rations back out.
Yeah, we went through quite a lot during our week away, 3 months.
Is there anything else you need to do here? She gestures back towards the cell for a moment.
I just burn it, just in case. You never know what these mushrooms could hear or whatnot.
Of course.
The Lady of Decay sees all.
I guess while we're here, I'll be up front. There was like a criminal organization that I think at some point you guys would have captured a few that were randomly tied up in a tavern. That was us. And sadly,
That makes sense.
in a battle not intended to, we did come to blows and one of them did die. And it turns out that they are the right-hand woman of their leader. So they're not quite happy with us either.
That would explain the increased incidents.
And these masked men, it seems while we were gone, one of them attacked my house looking for me. And I saw visions of one looking for all of us, trying to put the pieces together on whatever happened.
This is not something I've ever seen before, but I'll keep my eyes out.
Just thought be upfront about it instead of hiding the fact that there might be a few hidden figures running around the city.
Yeah, there is unfortunate things that happen in the city every day. Having a run-in with such a somehow prominent and discreet syndicate is Not something anyone should have to deal with. Because you will recall the names of their leaders, King of Iron and the Queen of Steel. Names that have been muttered more and more in the recent months.
I was going to ask about if there was a development there.
We're not sure how much of it is people that are actually working for these underworld boogeymen and how much it's just people wanting someone to blame so they don't get the short end of the stick.
Well, if that's the case, then we should prepare for our journey. Even though it may not be long, I would like at least some time to talk to Calvar, at least just in case there are information I might need to grab
Of course.
while I'm there.
I was able to get a cure for Daria, so Daria
Good.
is recovering.
Anything for anyone else? I hear that there's been more and more cases in recent weeks.
Unfortunately, the price for obtaining even just one dose was very steep.
Of course.
It's part of our life force in a sense.
Then I'm glad that you did what you could.
Well, I've got no choice but to kill the night hag anyway. And I pull out my sleeve and show this deal of
Yeah.
Oh god.
We
Sleeve
are
deals.
hoping that in slaying the night hag, it will lift whatever kind of, I guess, curse has befallen the
As long as it
citizens.
happens in time, everyone doesn't end up like Elowen.
Yes. As long as they don't keel over, they should be fine. But that's definitely need to keep an eye on everyone. If you do have who you would trust as the strongest people you know, I would maybe gather them and just let them know what's to come.
Of course.
Because at some point we're going to need them.
There has been rumor and telling of people seeing flying figures and strange individuals in the streets, so I have a sense that something is lurking around the corner.
Well, I doubt Kilvar will be awake right now. He's probably resting from all his work.
I don't think he sleeps.
That would make a lot of sense. Actually, yes.
She briefly leads you back up to her office for a time, takes out a few things, hands you 2 regular healing potions and 1 greater.
Oh, and provide that.
What did she hand over? Sorry.
I still have
2
my
regular
potions.
and 1 greater healing.
I haven't used any.
Two rig, one grey. I think I still have a couple, but by the sounds of it, you were most keen on it.
Yeah, I've got some regulars.
I do too. I have 3.
I just don't have a greater.
Then you take
I
the greater
have a
because I
greater.
have 1 greater.
Okay, good.
So you take the greater.
Oh god.
And how many regulars do you have?
4.
How many do you have?
3.
I also have 3. Do we just want to take 1 each?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
I'll give it to Lily. 1 regular.
For
Yeah.
me.
You have an extra just in case.
As you're divvying those up, she also starts unbuttoning her gloves
Ooh.
and just takes them
Oh,
off.
shoot.
These very finely crafted looking leather gloves that kind of rivet together down the side. As much use as they might be to me, I feel like you will be likely walking into more danger, so one of you can make use of them.
I have
And
gloves already.
tosses out a pair of gloves to the group.
Which I will grab.
Well, I did break it, but
And I just want to look. Oh, missile snare.
Catching.
oh, monk.
These gloves seem to almost meld into your hands when you don them. When a ranged weapon attack hits you while you're wearing them, you can use your reaction to reduce the damage by D10 plus your dexterity modifier, provided that you have a free hand. If you reduce the damage to 0, you can catch the missile if it's small enough for you to hold in that hand. So that's good for someone with high dex.
High dex and a free hand.
Yes, I will. You wield a sword and shield. I will a crossbow and blade. And Lily could use not getting shot at.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's yours now. Thank you, Carmine.
Appreciate
Of course. It's the least I can do.
+1. Require atonement?
it. Does it say ranged
It
attack?
does.
I don't
A ranged weapon attack.
That'd be great for the mages chasing.
Lightning bolt.
Wow.
Caught the legend. Also, my brain just like absolutely farted, and I have no idea what the name of the elder was for Bloomgrove. Not Raverfield, the one we've been chasing.
Gavia,
Gavia, thank you.
my main man.
Yes, for some weird reason it just.
I think Calvar, but the other one.
No.
Well, in that case, then I'll probably go see Calvar and then just sleep there. See what he has to say. He did seem like he was trying to, when I first met him, did seem like he was trying to figure out what I was.
A good first port of call then.
Then have the horses ready by the gates, I guess, by like, I don't know, when should we go early?
We should go early, yes.
Okay, 7 a.m.?
It's midnight.
8 a.m.? That's
Yeah.
8 hours sleep.
8 hours
sleep
sleep.
now.
That's how my brain works.
I see now. Everything makes sense.
Then I'll start heading off to the House of Gold.
I will head back to my home, see how it's doing, and Lily, you had better come with me.
I just wanted to ask Carmine one question.
Of course.
While we were gone, did an old shaggy looking man come by and ask questions?
Not that I have been made aware of.
In like tattered robes? And like looked like an elf?
I mean, I'm sure there's been a lot of people showing up at the front desk, but I've been busy up here in my chambers.
Would there have been records taken of anyone who would have come by and asked questions?
Potentially. You could ask at the front.
Okay. What?
Just curious questions.
I can't remember if this was something Lily told us about or not. The vision you got from the
I don't believe
scrying.
so.
You guys
don't
just
think
saw
so, eh?
the orb. Nothing in it.
Nope. Only I saw.
Alright.
Well, I try not to travel alone. I can handle traveling alone.
Well, I
thought
mean,
you
we will
said-
walk together, and then by the time it's time to split off, then we'll split off. But I think if we can avoid it as much as possible.
Yes, of
Shall we
course.
have like a signal in case we're in danger or something?
Do you guys sell, I don't know, oh, that probably doesn't exist.
Flares.
Fireworks, perhaps?
What?
No, fireworks don't exist.
Not
I
yet.
mean, like,
Not yet. Could do it.
it did happen in the Fey realm.
I will, if something comes for me, I will make my glowing orb fly in the air. I'll push it up.
You throw it up.
I'll like throw it.
What color would it be if it's that you're in danger?
Can I change the color of that? That'd be sick.
Sure.
Pretty sure you can.
Disco ball.
Why not?
Red.
Make it blue. It's like, oh, he's having a good time.
Green.
Green is all good, and red is
Help.
help, and purple is need help right now.
Oh.
Okay.
So.
Like it's
if-
urgent. I'm getting fucked up currently, while red is like, oh, something's about to happen.
Okay, so help is before the danger and purple is during or after the danger.
Yes.
Okay.
And blue is opt out with it.
It's just covered in blood, so it's like blue and red.
Well,
Okay.
it is good to know that you're all alive and have kept some sense of sanity.
Some sense.
We have to.
Well, I will very likely be here if you need me. I don't seem to have left in the last few days, so best of luck to you. Swing by any time if you need anything. Kari and Tynan are both on call in the streets. chances are if you need them, they'll also be here somewhere. Just
I was about to ask how they were doing.
working overtime, but they're managing.
Good to hear.
All right. Best of luck to you all then.
Alright.
Do the front desk.
Oh, yeah, I
Wander
just
down back to
follow
the front
Ripley to the
desk.
front desk.
That same clerk that's sitting at the front as you walk down.
Hello.
Hi.
Carmine told us that you would have records of whoever came by and asked questions at the front desk.
Possibly, yeah. What are you after?
Do you have records of
He spits out this massive, like, tome.
in the probably past 3 months, anyone who was an elf, looked shaggy, and probably asking a lot of questions about me?
Starts, like, looking through and looking through. Roll a d20 for me.
It would have been really handy if this kid was like the one dude that was on duty that day. It was like, actually, I remember this one.
Oh, fuck, 3.
3. He starts looking through.
First roll of the day. Not a good one.
I mean, there's plenty of records here from over the last few months, but
Would you have to ask their names?
yes.
Feathertail for the last name.
He starts looking through. Well, if someone's come in, they haven't given that name.
Theirs?
It's like flicking through. About 2 weeks ago, we had a Daryl,
Any specifics?
elf gentleman. That's all we've got.
What were they wanting?
I wish I could tell you.
What do you mean?
There's, he like turns the book around. It's like time, date, name. They were quickly turned away by the looks.
It's more like a check-in book, I think.
Yeah, more or less.
Does it say whoever was on duty that day?
He goes, I can find that out for you. Have the information passed on.
That'd be great. Thank you.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
Thank you for your time.
Who is this individual you are looking for?
Daryl.
No, he
Derek.
could be passing off his name as something else. He's my father.
Oh, what gives you the idea that he would come here?
Oh, when I asked the hag if I could see him, apparently he was coming to the city.
Oh,
But I don't know when that would have been, since now it's been 3 months.
Isn't your father some big shot?
When I saw him, he looked very sad. Like he was all alone and tattered and muddy robes, and like was just in a cart on his way to the city. He didn't have his men or anything else.
Well, if I end up making my way from the House of Gold to S's asleep, I could ask S for you, maybe. S seems to kind of get the ins and outs of the city normally.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Is he someone we should look out for or be careful of? What's our angle?
I don't know.
Like, how are we supposed to react?
I'd say
well, he doesn't know us.
No, but I
so-
mean, if he figures out Lily's like stage name, then he could easily figure out that we've all been hanging out.
Hanging out.
I feel like in his current state, he wouldn't be really seen as a threat.
In
So I would-
addition, you've got mages all over town. Have we seen them around the city? Just mages
I haven't
wandering?
seen any.
Oh, never mind. I take that back.
So I would say If you want, you can approach him, but try not to bring up my name, but still stay vigilant.
Okay, if I see him, I'll just make sure that he's eating well, like I would any old man that's in shaggy clothing.
Just a concerned citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
All
Well,
right.
yeah.
Let's head out then, and you go to House of Gold, and then you go to S's. I just want to know where you're meant to be, so that if I try and find you and you're not there, we know you're in trouble, just in case your orb doesn't work.
If I go to the House of Gold and have a chat,
Hmm.
and then go to S's, that's a long walk, right?
Yeah, reasonably.
Would I still get a long rest if I went there instead?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go to S's.
Just so I know where you are.
Yeah.
All right. I head to my abode.
All right.
That's the
I
House
head
of
to
Gold.
her abode.
See if it's still doing okay.
We'll head down in that direction. Lily and Yorna eventually peeling off towards Yorna's house. Doesn't seem to have been charred or burned in any way. Windows are all intact, and it seems as you left it.
How's the gardens doing?
They're better, but nothing has regrown. Just the stuff that was still there is kind of... Give me a nature check.
First roll of the
Do we have
session.
fridges or anything that would like be used in such a
We
way?
had this
You'd have like ice
conversation.
boxes probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just curious.
13.
13. You take like a quick detour, just like around the back of the house for a few minutes to go and have a look. Everything that was there when you left is still there. There's just a slight, and you're not sure if it's just because it's after the bloom, but the slight lack of color to everything. More muted than magical, like it normally would be.
Must have felt lonely.
I guess there's a lot going on at the moment. Even the flowers are struggling. I think it'll come right. I believe it'll come right.
Me too.
For the first time, Yorna will try and connect with this garden that she has seen out of her window for so long and never been able to truly appreciate.
How does she do that?
She'll kneel down just in like a patch of, I guess, some of the plants and just dig her fingers and just tenderly and just see if she feels anything.
Give me another nature check.
Just acquainting herself with her new powers. That was hat 8.
Dig your fingers into the soil a bit. And it's hard to make heads or tails of it because it's overwhelming to you. Completely new to this, but with quite a deep connection already. You dig your fingers into the soil, and you feel like thousands of tiny electrical currents kind of moving around you here. Each flower, each tree has this faint, different note to it. You try and kind of make sense of it, but this overwhelming sense creeps in where you feel like you can feel water running over your hands. You can feel the moving of branches. This connection here in the middle of the city is reaching out to the pools in Ridgewater, out to the tree at Woodend. And as you're trying to make sense of it, you feel a shooting pain as Bloomgrove's signature. Its life essence is not there to nourish the garden, to nourish this connection, and just cuts you off.
Oh. That's enough of that, I think. You hungry? I can fix us something up before bed if you'd like.
What's there to eat?
I'll probably have some cookies.
Pretty much all
Should
the
probably
cookies.
check those cookies.
I'll check those cookies. Ginger nuts.
Rats got them.
Ah, the damn rats. Sure, hey, then she'll find some biscuits to gnaw on after that experience.
Give me a perception check as
Oh.
you walk in.
Oh no!
Actually, you can as well if you'd like.
Someone is broken in and is
Also,
gonna
just
kill
double
me.
check that your mic's supposed to be blue.
I noticed that too. Forgot to mention
I
that.
don't know what I mean. I thought I'd bring it up now that I noticed it.
Should be right.
Alright. I don't want to double
I was
check.
like, ooh, fancy DM mic.
I don't
No,
want
it
to
should be
I
green.
don't
but-
want to leave it sitting there like that and be like, oh no, I should have brought it up.
23.
But is it My God!
I see all.
10.
You throw it out for me.
10.
You walk in and you start going about, heading into the kitchen to try and fetch something. Lily, you walk in and you notice the wood basket next to the fireplace is fully stocked. The ash in the fire seems like it was probably lit less than a week ago. The place is tidy and dusted. There's fresh fruit in the bowl.
Who the hell's been living in my house?
Just seems like this has been maintained for the last few months.
Here's an upstairs to your house, right?
I believe so.
Is it? News to me.
It's a big place.
It is.
Yeah.
I head
There is an
upstairs.
upstairs.
What's upstairs? The bedrooms?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I check every room.
All of the beds seem freshly made, even the ones that were disheveled when you had left, the ones that Daria had been in. It's like a very nicely kept home.
I want to look around and see if there's any notes that have been left behind.
You search for a good wee while Yorna is fixing up some food, and are fairly confident that there is no evidence of anyone being here. Or nothing that was left behind.
You're not in.
Define it.
Yorna,
Huh?
you have the only key to this house, right?
Far as I know, yeah, maybe someone from Woodend, I don't know. Maybe another druid. Why?
Just seems like someone's been living in your house.
It's about now that you notice that the fruit and vegetables in the pantry are fresh, the cookies are not stale.
Huh.
The steak's not rotten.
Yeah.
I was wondering why I was finding so much good food.
Didn't go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Gonna head down.
I don't think. Does the Iron Legion have access to this place?
No.
Maybe I forgot to lock it? I don't know. That
But
doesn't-
then who would come in and just leave everything and keep everything tidy? Some madman. Unless it's someone you know.
Well, it better not be Garvia. But it could also very well be Garvia.
Oh, why?
Why not? No one else lives here except for me, and he probably knew I was gone. It's the perfect hiding spot. You're kind of out of the way. You saw the house. It's pretty much unscathed.
I mean, he has been spotted or supposedly spotted.
I see traces of any, like, maybe druidic magic that has been happening here.
Magic's interesting.
Yeah.
Give me a nature check.
Anyone would know some funny things here.
My two theories are it's Garvia or Yorna's Druid Magic is sick. Restock everything
Yeah.
the land that you wanted.
Nature check?
Mhm.
11.
11. Faint signs, like some of the potted plants that are on the sill have been maintained. Definitely druidic magic that's maintained the house.
I grabbed one of the fruit from the basket.
Yeah.
Do you smell poisonous?
Give me a medicine check.
I'm waiting for Jay to be like, smells sweeter than normal.
Yeah.
It must be
Medicine.
Garvia. It's the only thing I can come up with.
Could be a fan.
Medicine 9.
9. Doesn't smell off at all.
This is my family's way of
Do I
honoring
feel
me in
anything?
death.
No.
Oh, shoot.
It's a very nice apple. Likely purchased at a market in the last day or two.
This is surprisingly good.
It's too late in the night for this. I don't understand.
I
I go around and start locking all like the windows, the doors. I'm double checking everything.
Yeah. As you start going around the house,
Now we're paranoid.
and Lily is standing there eating the apple. Can I get a perception check again from both of you?
Come on.
Ah,
You want the orb?
we're in the Lulu land.
Do I want the orb? Purple.
23 again.
Nice.
That's cocked. No. Ah. The nat one.
All right, Yorna's running around paranoid. As Yorna makes her way up the stairs, Lily standing there in the living room, you hear this sound. So like something freezing over outside. And you begin to hear footsteps approaching the front door.
Front door. Is the table like covered in a cloth?
Yeah, small little coffee table, but you can give it a go.
Under the coffee
Yeah,
table.
give me a stealth check.
No warning. I'm just looking around upstairs like,
Hey,
someone's coming.
this is your house.
You guys left me asleep for a whole combat almost.
11.
11. All right. You duck under the coffee table. So you hear those footsteps. Into the house, this crackling chill following along whatever this individual is. You feel the temperature in the room drop a little bit. Who's in here?
Can I like see the legs?
Give me a perception check.
Your house could have been solved.
Oh, that is true.
It was just barged in.
16.
Someone else's
16.
home.
You see bare legs and shoeless feet.
It's your dad. Your dad's made a home of my place.
Well, shit.
Sounds like a 12-y.
Cause it can. Yeah. I am. Is there like a back door?
There would be, probably through the kitchen.
I am going to. Cause how far away is it? Would you say it is within 30 feet?
Yes, it would be.
Ah, yes. Then I will do a minor illusion of a like door knock sound.
You hear that crackling chill just dissipate for a moment. Who's there? And you hear them like walk in the direction of the kitchen, like on guard, slowly.
So is their like back currently turned
Yeah.
towards me? I'm going to try and sneak from the table up the stairs.
Okay, yeah, totally. Give me a stealth check.
Would you want to hear anything about
Am
that?
I still like frantically doing stuff upstairs? Wouldn't he hear that?
Yeah, give it a roll.
It's yeah, there's a 24.
24. All right. Lily, you duck up the stairs. Yorna, you hear that knock and a reply to it as you see Lily kind of like pulling herself up the staircase in your direction.
He's downstairs. Oh, I don't know. You don't have shoes on.
That's the detail.
I can see I was having him under the table. Well, what do we do?
No, I mean this is my house.
Then walk down there and say, "You're in my house."
They seem hostile at all.
I don't know. I mean, like they were ready to like attack.
They were ready to attack?
It sounded like it. Some barefooted person.
I'm gonna creep down the stairs and try and catch a glimpse of this mystery figure.
Yeah. Give me a stealth check.
Level 8 adventurers here, by the way.
Yeah, but like, you know, you guys have been following by assassins and stuff. Like,
That's true.
yes, what am I doing? Stealth?
Yes, first, please.
Disadvantage though, eh?
Oh well.
Because
of your
armor?
Because of
Yeah.
armor.
Yeah, please.
That's right.
7.
7. All right. Get about halfway down the stairs and then like half trip and you just hear this like echoing down your person. And just silence.
Hello? I'm sorry. I came back. I'm the original owner of this house. I'm sorry if you have moved in here recently.
Yorna?
Oh, yes?
When the hell did you get back? And you see like Dalton walk around the corner.
Oh my god!
We hadn't heard anything. It's been months.
What are you doing here?
Looking at the gardens, because it's been months.
Can I come down?
Yes, Lily had me worried. She made it sound like some intruder, barefoot, maybe homeless. I don't know, just waltzed in here.
Hi.
Hi, good to see you again. Sorry, wasn't expecting you home. I might have iced the door handle
Why would you ice the door handle?
on the way in.
Okay.
Well, it's good to see you. You're alive.
Yes, yes.
Your other friend didn't make it.
No,
No, he's alive.
No, he's fine.
Good,
He just
good.
had some other matters to attend to. You know, like Dalton. Well, it's nice that you've been looking after the place.
Yeah, you guys nearly gave me a heart attack. Oh. I mean, I suppose you don't knock on your own door, but still. Whew. Okay. Good to see you. Yes, I've been tending to the gardens for the last month and a half on Dad's request.
So that's why they look okay.
They're surviving.
Speaking of, and I reach out my hands. Take my hands, and I try and like imbue
Massage.
druidic power.
Yeah, you do feel like a very faint version of that same like electrical current kind of run through. He kind of looks up and meets your eyes. What happened?
It's a very long story, and I didn't think you were going to be the first one that I told this about, but when we went to the Fey Realm, I learned that my powers had been bargained away. I managed to get them back. It's a whole story, but that's the summary of it. I'd rather get the family together and talk about it when there is time.
Of course, that's amazing.
It is, but at the same time, it's very new, it's very shocking, and I don't really know hugely how to use it. I mean, I've dabbled, but
Yeah, congratulations.
thank you. Yes, that's
You
What
both
are-
look a little different, actually.
Well,
Better not to ask. Got it.
we definitely went through a lot over there.
Right. How about some dinner, or have you ransacked the kitchen as well?
I started ransacking the kitchen.
Brilliant. He'll
Having a little dinner snack.
make his way through to the kitchen and start helping prepare a meal. As we will shift now to Strider or Vogue.
Dalton seemed too pleased that I wasn't there.
Oh, thank God!
Yeah, we cut to
Oh, he's out of the picture. Woo.
we cut to Vorgan and just a.
Oh no, did he die? That's a
You
shame.
guys looking for a fur?
All right.
You don't have a druid yet? Oh.
Oh no!
All right. As the others peel off in the direction of the house, where's Vogue headed?
I'll be heading towards the House of Gold, but I would also like to just be aware of anyone trying to follow me, as always. But I would, on top of that, like to cast Primeval Awareness. So that's the whole shebang.
Yep.
1 kilometer lasts 1 minute. So as I'm walking there, just to make sure there's nothing bestial.
Give me a perception check.
Just a nat 20 for a 30.
Okay.
I could never.
As you begin walking in that direction, you get the faintest tingle of fiendish energy. Just as that kind of lingers on your periphery. You kind of ignore that for a moment and you can see a few streets away. You just manage to catch them because the moonlight sort of glints off them for a moment. A figure standing in black and red robes, a like mage's staff in their hand, and this heavy-set metallic mask on their face, just kind of looking in your general direction.
Is the red that he's wearing some of the one that was in my house?
A bit different.
He's just watching me?
Seems to have like noticed you in the night.
Can I be like really cool and try like vanish and like sneakily make my way up?
Up to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a stealth check.
I just don't want to catch me going towards him. I want to make it look like I just, like the classic, the train went past him and he's gone.
Yeah.
It's not bad. 18?
18, all right. Yep. Clouds cover the moon for a moment, and Volg is gone. You make your way in his general direction. You get, a street over in an alley and kind of catch a glimpse of where he was. And again, he's just staring down the alleyway in your direction.
At me still?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I'll just walk to him. How far away is he right now?
No, 60, 70 feet.
Perfect. Hunter's Mark slays prey,
Mm.
just in case.
Yep.
And I'll look at him, look where I'm heading, and be like, make it quick, and I'll walk over.
Mm. You hear a voice pierce your mind. Nothing is spoken. What are you doing out so late?
Going to the House of Gold.
Why disappear when you saw me?
Well, you see, a creepy figure in the shadows at night watching me is not inviting.
Apologies.
You a mage then, with your telepathicness?
Indeed.
Not Sassanor's colors, though. What do you...
Not exactly.
What guild do you work for?
If I told you that, I would have to kill you.
Well, are you watching everyone that walks past at night, or just me? I don't swing that way.
Just keeping an eye out. Interesting things happening in this city. Just keeping a finger on the pulse.
There is a lot of interesting things happening in the city right now. Don't know who you work for, but I'll say this at least, just in case you have ulterior motives. That if you are keeping your finger on the pulse, don't do it to take over the city.
We simply don't want to see our sister city fall in a time of struggle.
Well, am I able to like get any closer to him during this?
Yeah, if you're wanting to.
Yeah, just with
Yeah.
the normal tour range. Well, if that's the case, and I'll inside check him on that if I can.
Yeah, give me an insight check.
See if he's on it. Unnatural 20.
A natural 20. Between the full body cloak and the mask, there's very little to read here, but body language wouldn't suggest any sort of tension or ill will.
I'll put my hand out for a handshake and I'll be like, the city will need all of the help it can get soon, so appreciate any help.
Appreciate someone sees reason.
Don't want to see the city fall.
Nobody
Stanley
does.
has a few times now. As I turn to walk away, have you ever heard of an underground arena within the city?
Interesting. My first time boots on the ground here. Should I?
Look into it. No one seems to know anything, but I think you'll find very interesting details if you do. If you do find any information, come ask me about it.
Of course. Do you have a name?
Vorg.
Very well, Vorg.
I assume I shouldn't ask yours.
If only I had one.
Oof.
Interesting organization you work for then. Have a good night.
You turn around and continue on your way. And by the time you sort of glance over your shoulder, he's just nowhere to be seen.
As Vorg's walking to the house of gold, just looks down and it's like, why do I always find the weird ones?
I was just thinking that.
As you're walking in that direction, we'll take a quick break, I reckon. You come back in a sec. Then, as Yorna and Lily and Dalton have a meal and settle down for a night's rest, Strider has this brief interaction with the mage in the shadows and then continues on again, path towards the House of Gold. Are you walking in the open or taking side streets?
In the open. I don't think anyone knows I'm here yet, but if people were looking for me, they'd probably look in the hidden areas.
Hiding in plain sight.
Exactly.
As you're making your way in the direction of the house, you catch a glint of something in the distance.
Can I get a closer look, see what it is?
You have a bit of a look, get a bit closer, and see it again. Notice that it's a glint of moonlight on armor.
Can I tell what type of armor? If it seems Legionnaire, Guard, or more Adventurer?
Give me a perception check as you get close enough, yeah.
That would be 29.
29. As you're walking, keeping an eye out, you can see an individual who seems to be like quite actively looking around as they're walking. And you recognize Victoria, that cleric of the Arbiter that you'd
Yes.
briefly bumped into.
Okay, good to know. I'll kind of jog over to her.
You told her Quentin?
With the big.
You're trying to make friends.
Yeah.
All right.
It's kind of like a, hey, Victoria, correct?
There you are. Good.
Oh, fuck. I don't. You just seem to be looking for me, and that's never good news.
Yes. Kelvar sent me out to try and find you. One of your companions, I believe, came through the house earlier.
Yes.
Is there somewhere private we can speak?
I was actually heading to the House of Gold.
Hold off on that just for a moment.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
This way. And she'll like pull you behind the building, kind of out of line of sight from the house.
I know it's a pitch move, but can I inside check
Yeah,
it? Make sure
go
she's
for
not
it.
trying to just trick me into it. Either just stab me.
Divine smite.
Oh God! Divine smite, a dagger wound.
12?
12. She seems on edge.
Okay. What's up?
Side goes. Your look. I assume you are who I think you are.
Yes, I guess the dragon's out of the bag. My real name's Vorg Bellwood, not Quentin.
Kelvar had his suspicions.
Yeah.
We believe that there may be people within the church that would not be welcome to your presence.
And they know who I am now?
No, but we would like to avoid it if possible.
So, chap's sending over what I'm wearing? Or does my give it away?
I mean, 'tis really up to you. It was more just a warning from Kelvar that there might be eyes within the house.
I assumed that. I heard from Carmine that Calvar's had an open investigation about my family's
Indeed.
downfall. And now that I'm being open about who I am, just because it seems that the times now, being where the city is at, I'd rather accept the consequences and be who I am instead of hiding again.
Of course. Of course. And you wish to see Kelvar at the house?
Yes.
All right. As she walks with you. Kelvar and I have been running an investigation, so to speak, on two fronts for a while. There is someone or a group of someones that are, we believe, acting on ill intent in the name of the Platinum Dragon. We've been trying to get to the bottom of it for years.
Oh, so that's how Calvar found out.
He's
I brought up the mask men.
Yes.
Without like taking it out, just leaning through like my jacket.
You have one.
When I returned, it seems my house someone tried wearing the mask,
Shit.
was looking for me. They were, I assume, killed by someone that I won't disclose.
Of course. Then they must know who you are as well, then.
I have had a vision, and it could be a lie since it was a hag's doing, but it seemed that there were signs of them tracking, or that they already knew who I was all along. And they're trying to connect dots.
Have any idea who or where this was?
No, was it like a basement kind of vibe?
Seemed to be some underground room.
Yeah, some underground room, like the classic red strings pointing to things. Before we continue, I do want to say thank you for at least having some faith in my family.
When a child of the Platinum Dragon walks the earth and claims that he has a duty to uncover an evil, you tend to listen and have a bit of faith.
I feel like I may have misjudged everyone too soon.
Don't go forgiving all too soon. There are definitely people in this city that would see you dead.
What about Chiron. I know he has his hatred towards demons. Almost
We
as
are
strong as
unsure.
mine.
Have been unable to prove or disprove, but he has not been let into the fold.
It was going to be one of the people I was going to ask for help, since we might be fighting demons.
You are more than welcome. Gauge his reaction, but it is an unknown risk.
Yeah, my ass on the line. Well, that seems to be most of the past week, so...
Of course. Well, as long as you have the warning, then.
Well, then would you come with me into the House of Gold then?
Of course. Of course.
Rather, if something happens, to have someone else by my side.
All right. She'll walk with you.
I would like to... I'll
Uh-oh.
quickly pull out my blade just a little bit,
Yeah.
and I'll just like pour a little potion and a bit of my cut my hand and get my blood mixed in, and I'll crimson right
Yeah.
my blade, and she'll see it just like frost up,
Yeah.
and I'll just put it back in the sheath. Just in case.
Of course. She pushes forward, kind of shield on her back, but she kind of has her somewhere between a mace and a hammer, kind of just at her side, just in case. And she has this nervousness about her, okay, we're walking in.
Okay. Thought you would say no.
You enter the house.
As we're at the door, just mutter to myself. Enough that probably she could hear it, but... I won't hide, nor will I feel shame for who I am. Not anymore. So, even if it turns out people want to kill me, many have tried and many will probably still try after this day. Doesn't change it.
She walks in with you. And you see the same thing that Yorna did when she walked in. There's 40 or 50 people here that seem to be taking refuge and getting clerical care where they can. People that seem to be having trouble sleeping or sleeping in unpleasant states when they do.
Can I just have my hand rested like within my cloak where I hide my crossbow and just have it ready for if anyone
Yeah, of course.
it makes a quick action towards me?
Walk in, and you can see the blue skin, white hair pushed to the side, this big feathered garment wrapped around, coming up the back. Kelvar walking around and at various points kind of issuing divine magics to some people that need it and kind of continuing to pace the room.
Well, there goes it. And I will try catch up to Kelvar.
As he's doing something and kind of catches your gaze, you can see again those storms for eyes, just this white, grey roiling kind of locks eyes with you.
Oh, no.
You made it.
Yes, sorry it took so long.
Yorna has explained a lot of your situation.
Yeah. Sadly, time works differently.
Did Victoria manage to find you on your way over?
Yes.
Very good.
I decided on an old look to my chest. On my own approach.
Well, it is good to have you on board. He kind of glances around the room a little bit just to catch eyes of any other robed clerics in the room. Just kind of takes this quick, half a millisecond scan of the room. Just comes back.
I'll do the same. Has anyone looked at me and had a frustrated look?
Give me an
As I
insight
walked in?
check.
Oh, no. That's going to be 17.
17. You have a quick glance around. For a moment, you actually catch eyes with one of these individuals that's offering divine aid. And they just kind of clutch their holy symbol and kind of stand a little bit straighter. And they kind of this. just confused expression on their face, and they kind of turn towards one of the hallways.
Well, that's more painful than any dagger, I guess. Shall we speak privately?
If you would prefer.
I just have something to show you that I know.
Of course. He'll take you to one of the side chambers here that are reserved for the members of the House of Gold.
Once we get in, if there's a table, perhaps.
Yeah.
I'll pull out the mask and I'll put it on the table. And I'll spin it.
As you enter here, for the first time properly that we have seen, that shawl around him pulls away till the wings kind of rest behind him. The full attire of his mithril armor kind of just stretches a little bit. Looks down at the mask, or the half of the mask, and just kind of picks it up. Where did you find this?
At my residence. I didn't do that, but...
He walks over to a drawer and like opens it as you're talking. Takes out a similarly disheveled one of these masks that has like one of the eyes and a horn missing off of it, but is a little more intact. Sets it on the table and it's near identical.
Before we continue further in this conversation, I've been told by Carmine that you have leaded the investigation in towards my family name.
A divine duty to seek out the truth.
And I want to give you my fullest thank you. Just to a point, I decided to start hating people before they could hate me first. And it's, I guess, comforting to know at least there's some people that seek light out of the dark lies.
Those of us who have the vision to hope for it. There are plenty more who do not.
And I do wish to trust you, and I want to, but I want some sort of proof that I can. Because if we're gonna share information, I want to share everything that I have. I don't want to have lies. I want to get to the bottom of this as much as anyone else, probably more so. But I need to be sure that any information I give is safe, and I can trust you with it.
Of course. Would you recognize a spell if you saw it cast in front of you?
Most likely.
He will put up a zone of truth around you. You'll see familiar sigils. You will recognize this spell as it's been probably used in your childhood. He goes, I have an innate ability to always sense when lies are being directed to me. Now you have the same honesty in this space.
I see. Oh, shit. I don't think that's it.
Do you see any point to resist the zone of truth?
No, I
Do not resist.
If there's a way to look like I accept it, I do.
Yeah, just not resisting. Okay. So, creature can't speak a deliberate lie. A creature can avoid answering questions. And you can be evasive with answers as long as it's still truthful.
You in no possible way work with these masked people.
No, my divine charge is against them.
That's all I need to hear. We'll keep it up, to be fair, between us both.
Of course.
The mask you see before you that I brought in, whoever they were outside my house. I am not the only Bellwood alive. My sister still lives. She doesn't follow in our code. She's doing it her own way. I think for vengeance, so I worry. But she took down whoever this masked man was. And she left a letter telling me that they're they know who I am and they're on to me, and to not slip.
That aligns with what we have found. I have been in the city here now for 7 years on this mission from Bahamut. Only in the last 5 months have I begun seeing clues. Typically, this has been surrounding scuffles, incurments that might suggest contact between an outside group that are opposing these masked individuals.
And I assume you know that they were there on the night of the attack?
With the information that I have, I know that they are partially responsible for your tragedy, and for that I am deeply apologetic. If there's any chance that this is people of faith, this never should have been allowed to happen.
Guess it makes sense why when we first met I said certain things, like about faith and how sometimes it can lead people down a wrong path. You said that you know that they had something to do with the downfall. I haven't been able to find out any information, I just know that they were there. Do you know if they were working with the devils?
From the small amounts of information that we have gathered in the past on their movements, we believe that there is a higher than likely chance that they were at the time believing of what the public perception is now. That there was collaboration between your family and the individuals that attacked. They had just already been keeping an eye.
So you're saying that the reason they attacked was that they had come to this conclusion themselves before the event happened?
That is what we've been led to believe.
Do you know anything to do with a book titled Dark Rituals for Lords and Ladies?
No, I don't believe I've heard the title.
Can I insight check to see if he
Yeah.
evaded that question?
Totally.
What was that word? 23.
23. He's being forthright.
I have come to believe that this book might be at the center of things. While under siege by these nightmares by the hags, well, the hag, they gave visions that sometimes hold truth, sometimes hold lies to make you unsure what to believe. And I had a lot of visions of back when I was a child, or even when I'm just kind of floating in the room and events happened. And for some reason, this book was shown to me multiple occasions, and the way she talked about it was like it was my downfall, or eventually it would be again.
And this is a book containing your family's knowledge, you believe?
What makes you get that idea?
Seeking knowledge concerning books. Most information that we have on monsters, and especially other realms, comes from your origin.
It is. It had my family sigil on it. More like notes were taken. I'll be forthright. Me and my party, we're planning on heading to the estate tomorrow. Because there is a larger enemy at play, and there's some sort of demonic hive mind even controlling the night hag. I don't know what it is, but if the books survived the fire and the attack, then they would know. I've definitely read about it somewhere before. And I'm led to believe that based on those nightmares, that book will be there too. Shall I bring it to you when I find it?
I know not what use I would have for it. This is something pertaining to what you are doing. It would be best for you to pursue it.
My sister she's powerful. Whatever she's done in the years that I haven't been with her, she's strong. Flame magic, the damage on that mask was from her spells, and unlike any I've seen. Not in metal.
Burning through solid silver. Impressive.
I know based on a letter, and I don't want her found. I want to find her myself. I don't want people surrounding her or trying to capture her. That's not what she deserves. She is trying to get rid of the devils that are in this city. I don't know if you know there are devils in this city, but there are.
With your information, we've been looking.
One goes by the name Xavier, and he works under something known as the right hand.
You have any more information on that by chance?
The right hand is the right hand of some big bad who led or organized the attack on our family. They were a part of it somehow. I've seen them both. Only a glimpse of the right hand.
Within the city?
Yes.
These are the devils that you previously mentioned to myself and Chiron when you were here.
Aaron.
Aaron is the name.
Prophet's hand.
Prophet's hand. Yes. They were together at some point during the festival.
The Prophet's hand?
Yes.
That name rings bells.
What about Day of Blood?
Unfortunately not.
We have reason to believe that the Day of Blood is some sort of event that this night hag's preparing for. She said it's right to believe that she's going up against the devils, because she has a swarm of demons, and I think we're just having a little blood war reenactment.
Do you know when this Day of Blood is to occur?
Potentially it's the solstice. It's the only thing that makes sense based on everything we've heard.
It could make sense. It is the one day of the year when the veil between the planes is the thinnest.
Would you say when the veil between the plains is the thinnest, if there was a rip in the plains somewhere, would it become larger?
More easily accessible, quite likely.
Wherever this night hag's hiding, I made a deal with this hag to get a vision of where the coven is. Some underground arena, there's an upside down city. Maybe there was a crystal, almost like a diamond, with silver liquid in it. It had draconic energy.
Where did you see this?
It was in a vision of the underground arena, upside down city above it.
And that crystal is somehow involved.
It was there. That's all I know. But there's also a tear in space there. And if the solstice makes it easier to be accessed, when does the solstice happen every year or every?
Every year. There are years where it is stronger than others.
I think the solstice is what they're waiting for. And I think it's not a coincidence that the solstice was so close to what happened with my family.
Of course. Of course. Yes, that would make sense. There are some dots here that might need connecting. Thank you for the information.
What do you know of this crystal? To me, it didn't seem like it came from a dragon, but it definitely was draconic.
What do you know of the primordial deities?
Probably just whatever an average person would know. I haven't put too much look into deities.
Our world, as you are likely aware, has something of two pantheons. The ascended gods, those who rose to power through mortal strength, and the primordial deities that built our realm. Those primordial beings each left a piece of themselves here, a tether to the material plane. When I was given my divine charge, the words uttered were to cure the curse at the heart of silver. I assumed that meant eradicating this cult, for lack of a better term. But what you describe sounds like Bahamut's tether, held captive in wherever this might be.
Yeah, that means whatever this hive mind means, it means big deal, this hive mind. Does that mean if we were to look at this area and charge an attack against the Night Hag, you would assist?
I would be there to protect the tether at the very least.
Interesting.
It is not often that I am allowed to raise a blade, but this feels like a moment that my god might grant me.
Primordial tether and then a tear in space. There must be a reason that they're together, right?
Potentially. Relics of great strength often pull in phenomenon. It's not unheard of.
If a tear in time and space was to be opened, like it wasn't there, now it is, do you think it has the power to flip a city?
It would depend where this rip ended. There's a chance for anything.
Do you know about the origins of this city? How it looked? There used to be an arena
They did.
by the brass shelf.
Where the brass shelf now stands, it was Argentum Adventures' form of entertainment back when he ran the city.
And you would say that that's around the center of the city?
As close as it can be.
I don't know where, but I remember we, trying to figure out where this space was, we do remember hearing that she would be, the Night Hag was in the center. We were told that. We don't know where, center of what, but the center of the city, there being an arena, it's kind of adding up too much. Do you believe that underground somehow?
There is a chance. I watched the arena be deconstructed when Argentum passed. If it still stands, that is a miracle in and of itself.
We need to defeat this Night Hag before the solstice, because we're going to need time to prepare for that as well. We don't have many protectors in the city anymore.
Of course.
We need to make sure that this arena is either it or isn't it, because we need to know where the coven is within a week or two.
During our investigations, I will look into this tether, this primordial relic. She is at the center. Could be the city. This land was once ruled or overseen by dragons, children of Bahamut. Would stand to reason that the center is wherever his heart would be. That tether might be the answer to a few more of your questions than you realize.
Yeah. Well, we need to find it, and me and my friends were gonna be going to the estate to find info on what this hive mind, what the big end of this. We were told the only way to kill the Night Hag is to kill what gives her power. So that could be the hive mind. I'm afraid it might be the hive mind. As a cleric, how much do you know about death and coming back from death?
All that I need to.
My friend Lily died when we were in the Fey realm. was brought back to life. She said when she was brought back to life, she heard screaming and people almost welcoming her, and then she saw a faceless being, almost like their face was wiped flat, sad and angry that she wouldn't be joining them. And we were under this hag curse at the time.
Likely gazed into the eyes of whatever is connecting them all. This hive mind that you speak of.
So would it be wrong to say that thing Lily saw could be our target?
Quite likely.
So then I need to find the monster books and see if any of these line up. Damn it. Just seems to be getting bigger and bigger of a mess. I didn't realize my family's downfall would be so connected to all this.
Things like this have a way of winding themselves together.
Have you heard of any type of group? I hand out the letter that my sister wrote me, the first one.
Yeah.
And I'll quote her. At the end of the letter, she said, "I will fix this. The watching eyes, the fiendish fire that runs through the city like blood. These broken pieces must fit back together. They have to." And then at the end, she says, "Then I can finally leave this life of hiding and drop this name of fear that I have adopted." She's found people that will do her goal with her. But have you heard any fearful names about maybe a powerful flame caster?
The information that we have gathered about, again, these scuffles with the masked individuals, the few people that we have found and gotten minimal information from, have all mentioned a Queen of Steel.
Queen of Steel. I heard that name today.
Oh?
Carmine mentioned it, saying that there was some sort of notes of them being back. Had there been, in these scuffles, would it be fire damage or anything?
On occasion,
Powerful?
seemingly.
Any, runes, like, drawn into the ground, like teleportation circles?
We do believe that there is a caster amongst this group.
Near my house, where the scuffle happened, there was some sort of leftover teleportation circle of some sort.
We've seen similar things. A way to get out without being seen. Whoever these people are, they're almost as good as hiding at masked individuals.
The Lady of Steel, you said?
Queen of Steel.
Queen of Steel.
It's a name that is, I believe, made its rounds through the criminal underworld here, but we believe it is tied to these vigilantes, whatever you want to call them.
And they're against the masked people?
As far as we can tell, but they have made other actions within the city as well.
Like what? If this is my sister, I want to know what she's getting herself into.
Investigation with Carmine, and it might be good to confirm this with her rather than myself, is that they have opposed powerful groups, those that hold sway. They have led various coups against noble families in the brass. Very few people have actually been captured from these. Those that do just blame this Queen of Steel like some boogeyman that they can point the blame to.
What's going through Vorg's head is probably like a disappointment, maybe sadness, but also if he didn't find Sebastian, he could see himself leading such a life that... What would the crimes be for someone like this? What would he charged with punishment-wise?
If things can be proven, likely life in the fortress, attempted coups and rebellious actions against those in power. This is a criminal group, despite their potentially well-aligned goals in places, but they are scattered from what we know.
As someone that believes in faith, what's your opinion when it comes to situations make the person? Can you blame someone for what they do when something set them on that path? Something evil, grand?
We are told that the gift of humanity is free will. Someone's actions are always their own. Circumstance may shape those, but actions speak to a person.
We'll go pick up the mask off the table and put it away. Kind of get up like he's going to leave.
Yeah.
If this Queen of Steel is my sister, then I'll just make sure that it's never proven and make it that she can live her normal life.
You see, for a being like this who can remain as cold as they want, right, to appear unfeeling, there is this warmth to his expression, this understanding that at least part of the path that is being walked is righteous. He just gives a bit of a nod.
I wanted to speak to Chiron, and I know that apparently he's not fully trusted. But there's a chance we'll be fighting demons, and he seems to have quite the hatred.
He would likely be quite a dependable ally.
Is he around?
Yeah, he should be. He's been helping tend to the wounded and the sick.
I won't keep him busy. I just want to let him know what's to come to the city at some point. Tell him to have his weapon ready.
He just kind of points out. You can see kind of coming out from one of the back rooms and tending to a few individuals in full bronze armor. Chiron is making his way around.
As I walk to leave, I'll be like, thank you for your chat. It's nice to air out all of this information for once.
It is good to know that we are not fighting a losing battle. That there are others that we are now hoping to prove for.
If you do find any information or find the Queen of Steel, get me first, if you're okay with that.
Of course.
I'll find my way to
various runes around him kind of flicker out of existence as the conversation ends. Walk out to Chiron, whose crossbow is elsewhere at the moment, but full plate with his robes. Kind of is tending to someone. You can see this divine golden light emanating from his hands as some wounds close on an individual, but you can see that there's clearly this like exhaustion that's taken over them that he can't quite cure.
I'm just gonna walk up there. Chiron, correct?
You're back, yes.
Do you mind if, when you're not busy, if we just have a quick chat?
Now's good.
Is he with a patient?
Yeah.
It might be a little more private.
Very well. This way. And he'll lead you to like one of the small side chambers. How can I help?
When I last mentioned demonic activities and devilish activities around the city, you seem to get, let's say, ready to kill that shit as quickly as possible.
Made my way back to the city when I heard that there was the chance for others to be here.
Based on my research, I do believe that on the Solist, there might be devils and demons fighting. I think the the Blood War, but here.
And you're telling me because...
Well, anyone that has that reaction to devils seems like they would probably know how to kill one.
I would certainly hope.
So can I count on you to help us?
Tell me where and when. I'll be there.
I will either come find you at some point or send someone.
Of course.
Can I insight check to see if he saw my symbol on my chest?
Yeah, give me an
And if
insight
he
check.
reacted? That's gonna be 18.
18. Definitely glances at it for a moment. There's a moment of recognition, but he doesn't acknowledge it in the conversation.
With the at 18, does it feel like he's acting like he didn't, like, it doesn't want to acknowledge it, like he doesn't want to make a big deal on purpose? That's what I want to know, if he knows. Because if I was bad and had a mask, I wouldn't want to give that away. So I want to see if he's purposely holding back.
There is, on an 18, an air of him holding back, but you're not sure if it's ill intent or because of where he is.
When I notice that, I will look down at my chest, then back at him. You alright?
Believe so. You?
Yeah, you just seemed, I don't know. How does one explain it? Tied down?
How so?
I don't know, you just give me the energy that there's something on your mind that you want to talk about, but you don't want to.
Anyone that wears a holy symbol has seen that symbol before. I just hope the stories aren't true.
Well, after all the good I've done, I hope I earn some credit.
Point taken.
Another point to give is I'm only 20 now, so whenever shit happened, I'm not involved. So don't judge me based on past accusations that might not be true. Judge me on what I do.
Do you have your book visible on your person?
That's probably slightly visible.
Picking up where they left off?
Someone has to.
I'll be there when you need me.
Good. I'll walk away. Nervously. Can I inside check that last part?
Yeah, give me an insight check.
I don't trust that real shit. 14.
14. He wasn't lying. He will be there for whatever fight he is called to, but there was definitely more on his mind at the end of the conversation.
Yeah. So, try to make my way to S's with now more watching my back, knowing that apparently I'm not a big fan.
Victoria gives you a bit of a nod as you exit and kind of catches Kelvar's eye as he walks back out from that room, and kind of they give each other a bit of a nod, and she just kind of lets out a bit of a sigh as you walk into the night air. Make your way back to S's as you all settle down for a night's rest back in the city for the first time in months. I reckon we'll leave the session there and pick up likely with a trip to the estate next session.
Oh, shoot.
I just opened the door to S and I'm like, who the fuck's the red-robed wizard?